So about 34 years ago, my parents bought this ranch and we moved here. There was nothing. So all the things that are here, my dad built by his own hands. We own about 50 acres of land. And, my family has been here. We put the water well, we put electricity, our home, and we grew up living here. My name is Eileen Celestina Garcia. I'm a 14th generation New Mexican, and we're currently on my family's ranchito here in Sapeo. I've had the fortune of being in many countries. I've traveled for service and as a teacher, and I'll tell you, there's nothing that compares to New Mexico. Every single time I was thanking God for my passport and for the fact that when I came back home, this was my home base. This Sapeo, this ranch here, always kept me grounded. Well, our area during the Calf Canyon fire was on alert for about 6 days before it actually got to us. So for 6 days, there was, you're fine, and then be ready if anything happens. And then we were told, oh, it's been put down. So everybody unpacked their cars. And so that morning that I woke up, my parents were good. My son was here with him. I went to work in Las Vegas, and I was at my desk on a Zoom meeting, and one of my colleagues came rushing and knocked on the door and said, "You have to leave right now." And I said, What are you talking about? And she said, the fire, you have to go home. You could see the plumes of smoke all up in the sky. They were thick, gray smoke. All the state cops had already set up borders we couldn't get through. They'd put really close down the road to get here to where I needed to be for my family. And my mom and dad and my son were here, but they didn't know that our area was being evacuated because they had cut the power lines. And when they cut the power lines, usually no one here cares because they're outside working and playing. I drove down to our neighbors because I know they are directly on the other side of this mountain from my parents' property. And I parked in their property and asked them if I could walk over the mountain, and they said, sure. And I walked up the mountain from their house, got to the top of the mountain, and I could see all the fire. I could see everything coming our way. And along the way, I was just praying for all the trees and just touching the grandfather trees as I could make it down the hill, and just praying for their safety and for the safety of our community and this valley. When I got to the bottom, my mom was driving off and my dad still was trying to get a truck out. And so my son was still there, and I got my son and I told him, after we leave, we can be scared and we can be nervous, but right now we need to go in and get all of the most important things that we can't live without. Our photos, our important papers, and the things that we can never replace. In about 10 minutes, we went through and grabbed everything that we could think of that was the most important to us in our lives, and we packed 3 cars and we drove out. When it comes to what has helped everybody to stick through it and the grit of our community, it's when we come together. We do this together. For those of us that live here near the river, there is no safety anymore. We used to have a flood in this valley, in this community, every 4 to 6 years. Now every year, every time it rains, it floods. You live with that sadness of the fact that we know that it's never going to be the same the way it was. So we sometimes don't even like to talk about it. So our children now, they grow up with a different experience. They've lived themselves through the fires. So it's very heartbreaking when you hear leaders talk about there is no climate issue, there is no climate change, because we see it every day. What gives me hope is how amazing our people are, our community members coming together. That's what has helped our community stay resilient and continue to luchar, to keep going.